How's it going, everybody? It's Stas here. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all and breaking down the top couple of stocks and ETFs that I'm personally watching and looking to trade right now in the month of January, heading into this next week in the month of January in 2020. And quick reminder, guys, this next week we're actually heading into on Monday, which is tomorrow. It's Martin Luther King Day. So the market is actually closed. So we're only going to have 4 days of trading this week. So I want to share with you all kind of what I'm looking at heading into this short week, although the market is closed tomorrow. And I also want to break down what the markets did last week, taking a look here at the S&P 500 and what the markets look like in general here, so we can get a better understanding of where these markets could push here over these next couple of days. And of course, we'll take a look at some earnings plays coming up, so we can see what could be on the move here to the upside or the downside over these next couple of weeks. So before we get into all of this good stuff, guys, all I ask from you is if you enjoyed this video, simply go down below for me and hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already and you want to see further content from me. And if you haven't claimed your 2 free stocks from Webull, there's an affiliate link down below in the description box where if you put $100 using that link into the Webull account, you get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400, which is free money at the end of the day. So go take advantage of that, linked down below. So these past 5 days of trading have been insane in these markets. Every day it seems like, I believe actually every day we have hit an all-time high here in the S&P 500. You can see here, this is the 5-day, 5-minute chart. We started off this week at a low, or last week rather, at a low of 3268.43, and we hit an all-time high that day, and the next day, like I said, and the next day, and the next day, and yes, you guessed it, guys, and the next day, which is Friday, ending off the week at 3329.88. So roughly in last week's session, these previous 5 days of trading, the S&P 500 has gone up, give or take 60 points, a move that is totaling of 2%, nearly 1.75% to be exact, which is incredible for an index in the matter of just 5 days of trading. Now, if we pull out a bit here to the longer term chart, the 4-hour chart, which I personally like to use to just take a look at longer time frame charts for individual stocks, indexes, ETFs and futures, here you can see on the S&P, we're so overbought, guys, on this 4-hour chart. We're so overextended above the 50 SMA, obviously above that 180 SMA as well, and the RSI, the Relative Strength Index, which is probably one of my favorite indicators here, we can see it's at 81. The threshold is between 30 and 70. The closer it is to 30, it's more oversold, right? But the closer it is to 70, and as it gets above 70, that means it's getting more overbought and extremely overbought as it gets above 70. And you can see the S&P is at 81 right now. Obviously, we're at all-time highs. We're overextended above these moving averages, so that leads me to be a bit cautious here, like I've been mentioning in these videos. The S&P pulling down here to maybe 3260, maybe 3250, maybe 3270 isn't too far-fetched in my opinion, because that would bring down the RSI to a healthy spot, and that would bring the S&P down to that 50 SMA, which we've held over these past 6 months pretty much every single time that we have seen a pull down here in the market. So be cautious. That's all I'm saying. I would not be surprised, again, if we did see a little sell-off, and that's kind of how I'm approaching it. We're getting overbought. I don't want to get FOMO here, start buying into maybe S&P call options, or maybe, SPXL, which goes up whenever the S&P goes up, which is just simply a leveraged ETF. I want to just be safe, cautious, and wait and see. Maybe we get a pull down, and I'm interested. Do you guys think we do get a pull down here? Maybe a 2% correction across the markets? I'd love to know your thoughts down below. Me, do I think it's going to happen? Eventually, yes, I do think it's going to happen. But if the markets ran up another 2 days, 3 days here, that wouldn't surprise me either. But ultimately, I think we'll get a healthy correction here it's not even a correction, just a healthy pull down of 1-2%, maybe even 0.5% here, just to get it back to a healthier spot before the continuation of the uptrend. So let me know down below, guys. Again, what are your thoughts on that? Now, let's hop into the video, starting off with natural gas. As you all read in the title, natural gas gaps down. And this is really crazy because in Saturday's video, which was yesterday, I talked about how natural gas was already oversold, and now we actually gapped down yet again, all the way down to $1.83 today, which is absolutely insane. And for those of you guys that don't know, we were trending at around what was it, like $2 when I made that video yesterday, and with this gap down, that brought us to an even crazier level of oversoldness here based on the RSI. You can see the RSI now is at 18 under the 30 threshold, which means it's extremely oversold. So how are we going to play this natural gas move, guys? Well, obviously, I'm still sticking by to what I said yesterday, and what I said yesterday is I think that you guys could see a short-term bounce back play. And the reason why I'm sticking by what I said yesterday is now with this pull down, I think you guys bounce back play is in more need than it was yesterday. So now I think it could happen, more likely. There's more of a likelihood that it can happen based on this ridiculous gap down because natural gas just got more oversold, right? So we can see it's down 5% here, down 10 cents, and the market's not open tomorrow, so just keep an eye on what it does in tomorrow's session. Does it fall back down because the futures are open tomorrow? So just keep an eye. Does this fall back down to 183? Does it maybe consolidate around 190 and slowly head back up to around 191, 192 heading into Tuesday's session, which could open up a UGAS play? These are some things that I'm going to be watching for tomorrow, and I'll actually make another video tomorrow just going over what ended up going on in the future session, so we can see any updates to our trading plan when it comes down to these different ETFs and ETNs, right? But as of now, I'm still thinking bounce back play for you guys short term, but overall, the trend I still think for natural gas is down. Like I said in yesterday's video, I can see it going down, and many people and analysts have come out saying this as well, down to $1.80, $1.70. I've seen low estimates of $1.50 this winter for natural gas. So keep an eye out for that. You guys and D-gas, keep those thoughts in your heads. Those are my opinions, at least here, guys. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. The next one is going to be Facebook, and now we're getting into these stocks that are actually reporting earnings in these next couple of sessions. Facebook's one of them. Although it is more overbought right now, it's more towards the all-time highs, obviously, as it is at 220. I still see potential in Facebook here, especially as it's setting up, it seems like, for a little sell-off. Maybe we end up selling off here down to about 220, which could end up holding, in my opinion, 218 rather to 220, which could put us right on top of that 50 SMA for a potential dip buy, coupled with a solid earnings report, which analysts are expecting pretty solid numbers here from Facebook on the 29th. That could be a nice rally for Facebook back into, or rather not back into the 230s for the first time, and that entry on the 50 SMA could be a potential here. I'm in Facebook. I believe I still have some shares in my swing account from down here, and I actually might add some more at 218. We'll see how that ends up happening, but for me, I think it offers a decent potential if it pulls down here, and especially if the earnings are solid, which do more research into the earnings, guys. I can't dive into that in these videos because the videos will be over an hour long, and I don't know if you guys want to sit here and listen to me for an hour. Let's be quite honest, right? So the next one is going to be CMG, Chipotle Mexican Grill, and this one kind of reminds me of Johnson & Johnson, which I mentioned in a previous video here. And why it reminds me of Johnson & Johnson is because it's breaking out of an all-time high here, kind of like Johnson & Johnson, and it's looking to really continue rallying up. And in this case, it was actually a stock that was suppressed a little bit, this particular stock. Same with Johnson & Johnson. You know, CMG went from 860 down to about 720. That's a pretty big down move here. And if we go to J&J, although J&J's move, you know, the suppression was a lot longer than Chipotle Mexican Grill, it's kind of seeing a similar breakup, right, where we saw a bit of a sell-off, now we're popping out, and we're actually breaking above previous all-time highs. And in Johnson & Johnson's case, we talked about this on Friday's video, I believe. The all-time high in J&J is at about 148, 150. So we're breaking out. This could be, like I mentioned, up to 150s, 155, 160. I see J&J going. Now back to CMG, if we pull up that same chart, we can see this is the level that we were fighting, previous all-time high being around 860. Now that we broke above it, we're well into the 870s, now looking to get into the 880s. So really, this is just a momentum play, the continuation here of the uptrend. I've seen analysts' targets on CMG being in the 900s, maybe into the thousands. I think I've seen some analysts' targets being. So, you know, I see CMG in the short term getting to at least $900 here on just pure momentum from this breakup, and especially if they have good earnings here coming up. Let me just double check for you all when their earnings are. We can see here they're on the 4th of February. That is ticker symbol CMG. So these are just some to watch that, again, are reporting earnings here, and they are hot stocks, let's be honest. And when they do get hot, especially Chipotle, Facebook, they end up tearing, guys, and we've seen it in the past. So another one is Uber, ticker symbol UBER. This is one that I'm personally in, and I just continuously believe and say in these videos that I think Uber's going to the 38s, 40 levels, guys, and I'm putting my money where my mouth is here, which is why I've been buying Uber since the 28, 29 level. You guys know this if you've been following the channel for a while. Sure, I've sold out, I've taken profits multiple times, but the thing is, I continuously buy back in. If I remember correctly, for Uber, you know, I had a position from 28.50, sold some at $30. You know, I think I bought back in at 31 bucks here, and you guys know I sold recently at about 33.50. Now I started buying back in and have been buying back in over the past couple of trading days at around 34.50, with the goal here of selling at 36 bucks, locking in profits, and from there, that's kind of where I see the next big move coming in Uber, where we can maybe go from 36 up to 38. And the truth is, guys, now, you know, I originally said that I'm going to sell at 36 in recent videos, and I obviously just said it now, but the truth is, I might just hold on. I might just hold on for the break above 36 due to me being confident enough that it can get to 38. So I actually just might hold, and I might not even lock profits until 38, and we'll see what ends up happening there. And of course, I'll let you all know in these videos, but overall, I'm bullish Uber, and they are also reporting earnings here on the 6th of February, which is about 2.5 weeks away from right now. So Beyond Meat is the next one that I actually nibbled some shares in this past trading day, I believe on Friday. I took actually a loss on it on Thursday, but got back in on Friday, and this is one that I'm just buying the dip. I'm buying the dip on it. We actually, I profited on it very, very luckily, actually. I got in on, I believe Friday it was, last Friday, about like 8 days ago, at about 94 bucks. And the crazy thing is, and I posted screenshots in that video, I actually got a $135 $75 limit order this day when it actually got all the way up to $135.20. So the fact that I set the limit order, got out right in the nick of time, and it dumped, I call that a pretty lucky timed entry, but hey, I'll take it. And now with this dip, I'm back into Beyond Meat. Again, I got in on Friday. I believe I'm in, or not Friday, Thursday, Friday. One of these previous days, I got into Beyond Meat, and I'm holding some shares. I believe it's at around $108. And the goal here is really to swing trade it up to about $124. That's my first sell target, which is a chunky profit. Let's be honest, guys. That's another 13%. And the way that this has been moving, I could see that happening in a day. And we've seen that happening in a day, but we just have to see if this momentum continues, and that's kind of obviously what I'm hoping for here, which is why I bought into the shares or into the stock with a couple shares here over the past couple of trading days. So that's ticker symbol BYND, and I do believe they're also reporting earnings. Why isn't it here? I think they are reporting earnings. It might not be official yet. That's probably why it's not on TOS right now, ThinkOrSwim, but I think I saw it on Yahoo Finance. Let me just double check here for you guys. You can go check for yourselves. I don't want to, let me just take a look very quickly. Don't want to waste your time. Earnings date. Okay, it says here, I swear it said 28th of January, but I'm probably wrong. Go check. Let me know down below in the comments what are your, findings on their earnings, but they're probably reporting pretty soon here, so keep an eye on that. The next stock is going to be Target, guys. Ticker symbol TGT. This is one that it's been smoking hot, and it's been under the radar for a lot of people in our community, I feel like, and maybe it's just me, honestly. It's just me, maybe, but I just haven't been watching Target, and the fact that it's gone from $70 all the way to $130 in the last 6 months is insane. And take a look at these earnings report moves here. I haven't seen this. This is nuts, guys. Well, I've probably seen it in the past, but recently I haven't seen anything like this where each earnings, it shoots up. It's like it levels up 20 points almost. Consolidates, next earnings, boom, 20 points. And now we can see the 130 level. We kind of topped off there. Now we're selling off, and it seems like overall we're holding the old resistance, old all-time high as a new support. And quite honestly, guys, this is very attractive to me. This is a company that, it's a massive company. They've actually been crushing earnings, so the business has been performing well, and you got to take this as an opportunity. Any big blue chip company that takes a dip like this, you have to take it into account, in my personal opinion, if you're a swing trader, that is, right? Because there is opportunity here, and from 130 to 116, that's a 10% opportunity. So let's say, you want to swing trade with 10K, that could be a $1,000 opportunity there for you if we get back to 130, right? 5K, that's a $500 opportunity. So take a look at this. I think it's pretty attractive. And at this point, we can see that we've actually been consolidating there for the past couple of days. So this could be a no-brainer swing, in my opinion, if we end up breaking up into the 117s, 18s, 19s, and especially into the 120s. That's definitely where I'm looking to grab this position. And honestly, this is a stock that I believe someone messaged me on Instagram. So thank you so much, actually, because again, I have not been tracking Target. I should be, right? I should be, but the truth is, I can't track every stock in the stock market. It's absolutely impossible, which is also why I'm grateful for this community, because like I said, when you guys DM me stocks like the one with Target, or when you drop stocks in the comments, I take a look at them and I'm like, oh my God, this is a great opportunity here. And then I'll take a look at it and do my own research. And that's kind of the beauty of this YouTube channel as well, because you guys watch the videos, you guys see these different stocks, and you kind of get what I'm thinking, and then if you think the same thing, you formulate your own opinion, you can then strike and make money off of that opportunity, which is awesome, right? This whole community, that's the idea, right, guys? So the next one here is going to be eBay, which happens to be yet again another call out. And eBay, I just didn't really see this one either. It's actually been crushed over these past couple of weeks, months actually, down from $42 down to about $34 per share. And now we're starting to see some price action that we're breaking out of these moving averages that have been acting as resistances. And with earnings coming up on the 28th, this could end up opening a breakout opportunity. But the thing is, I personally have not looked into their earnings, the forecast quite yet. I'm going to and see what that's looking like, and then I'll see if the technicals follow, if the market reacts positively to their earnings afterwards, and that's where I think we can see an opportunity for eBay as a long buy. That's if their earnings are solid, and at that point, we'll full-on be breaking out of the downtrend, which would be any move pretty much up into the 36, 37 level, and that would just solidify us moving above these moving averages, which is what I would like to look for a full-on breakout here in eBay. Another one that you guys shouted out to me, which honestly at this point, I'm not looking to get into this due to it being so overbought. Not even so overbought, but it's just ran up so quickly. And it's ticker symbol LK, Luckin Coffee. If you guys don't know this, it's actually a Chinese coffee chain. It's people kind of call it and reference it as the Starbucks of China, or at least that's kind of what I've heard people call it. And they IPO'd, I believe, within the last year. I think maybe a couple months ago, within the last year, maybe year and a half, that's when they IPO'd. And it seems like now over the past couple of months, ever since maybe it's definitely got to do with trade, although it doesn't really make sense because they don't I don't think they do business in the United States. But either way, it seems like ever since China, the U.S., they've kind of been settling here, not really settling, but you guys know what I mean. It's kind of been calming a bit between the trade war. These Chinese companies, not even LK, but a lot of the Chinese companies have been taking off, and maybe that's why LK is taking off as well, like I just said, right? And this has gone from $20 to $51, and it seems like this would have been the dip buy, obviously, right? Now that we're looking back on the chart, which would have been at about $34 per share. So for me, now that we're overbought on the RSI, we're at $51, we're overextended above the moving averages, I would need to see a similar pull down like this, like we saw a couple days ago, which I think will happen, guys. Let's be honest. I think it's going to happen here. And once that pullback comes, whether it's down to $42, whether it's down to about $44, $45, we could take advantage of that on the upwards momentum. This chart kind of reminds me of AMD, which we'll talk about now. AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, right now it might not be a buy because we're at 51. It's kind of the peak, and that's that's the same price as LK, which is kind of funny there. But if we pull down to 49, maybe hold that 50 SMA, that could be a nice dip buy in the crazy bullish momentum that we've been seeing here, which again is it's kind of similar to LK. Same thing, little pull down, we could enter, make a quick little profit on the momentum. So those two stocks, very, very similar. Two more I want to talk about in this video, guys. This is another call out, SHAK. This is Shake Shack, and if you guys have not eaten Shake Shack, highly recommend eating there. When I was in college, I'd eat there all the time, almost every day. Not proud, it's not a proud moment, guys, but I used to eat there all the time. But either way, the stock here, kind of like eBay, been getting crushed from $109 down to about $58, and kind of like eBay, well, not really exactly like eBay because eBay hasn't fully broken out quite yet. Shake Shack's a bit ahead of it, but we can see we're breaking out of this downtrend. This has got to be an attractive stock to look at now that we're filling the gap back up to previous resistance levels that we haven't been at over the past couple of months, right? If we take a look at SHAK here, take a look at this. these levels we're at, we haven't been at these levels since June. I guess you can say we were momentarily there back in November, but we haven't uptrended at these levels since June, right? So now that we broke above 67 and we're kind of fiddling with $70-ish, I could see not LK, I was about to say LK, SHAK here, maybe filling this gap up to $73. I see that being very possible here in the short term, but let's say, it continues this little sell-off that it does seem like it's experiencing right now. You guys can see the little sell-off. Let's say it does. Maybe we go down to about $68, hold that level, and then we have a little bit of a horizontal pattern forming here where we can trade it maybe from $68, maybe back up to $70, and then again from there, maybe back up to $73. Overall, these are some things that could end up going down here for SHAK, some thoughts that I have, but overall, I'm just liking the break of the downtrend. There's a lot of potential here, guys, especially if they start knocking those earnings out of the park. And honestly, don't know too much about this business, but just keep an eye on their performance here, as they are a smaller business out there. They're not one of these mega cap companies, right? So the last one that is a mega cap company is Boeing. And Boeing, unfortunately here, it broke 330, guys, and this is a level that we've been talking about on Boeing, that if it does break, we may be going back to $300.15 per share, and from there, unfortunately, maybe back down to $300. And not unfortunate to me, because I'm a long-term investor in Boeing. I believe in the company. I believe everything that's going on now, it's short-term, and it's going to open up an opportunity for the long-term, so I'm cool with it going down to 315, 300, but from a swing trader's perspective, that is not a good thing, honestly. And let's say we do get to 300, it would make sense, because that would be putting us right on top of that 180 SMA at around 295, 300 here on the 3-year weekly chart, which I don't really see Boeing falling below that. And I'm sure many of you guys could agree with that, unless we had some insane recession where the market ended up selling off 40, 50%. I don't really see Boeing going below this level. That's just me, right? And if we do get here, that could be a nice swing opportunity opened up. But until then, guys, I'm going to be buying Boeing in my M1 finance portfolio, which is one of my main long-term portfolios that I'm heavily building right now. And I probably won't buy until, in my swing account that is, until we get to that $300 level. So overall, guys, that's kind of it for this video. Those are some stocks, some ETFs that I'm watching here heading into this short week. And again, it's a short week, guys. Monday, the market is closed due to Martin Luther King Day. So if you guys enjoyed the video, simply go down below for me, hit that like button. Also, consider subscribing to the channel if you want to see further stock market content like this. And let me know down below in the comments, what are your thoughts on some of these stock picks? What are your thoughts on the markets in general? I'd love to know. And don't forget to claim your 2 free stocks from Webull that are valued again up to $1,400 with a simple deposit of $100 into the account using my affiliate link down below in the description box. So I'll catch you all in the next video. Thanks again for watching, for supporting the channel. As always, it means a lot to me, guys. Peace out.